Today we're going to take a look at an amazing time trial bike from Xenith, something that's going to work for both UCI TT and triathlons. So let's go take a look. We've got Sean from Xenith Canada here to take us through the Xenith T2.
Hi Paul.
Hey Sean.
How are you doing today?
Tell me a little bit about Xenith, the company.
Sure. Well, Xenith actually started in the early 30s as a European bicycle importer.
All right.
And they were successful at that for many years. But eventually the daughter, who had gotten involved with the company, decided to take over the company and rebrand it as Xenith.
All right. Now, Xenith is huge into mountain biking.
Yes.
That's where I recognize them from.
Yep, Xenith has produced World Cup cross-country bikes. Certainly we're well known for cross-country, but we have a full line of bikes.
Right. This is the Xenith T2 time trial and triathlon bike. Now, are we going to see this on the road anytime soon?
Oh, definitely. There's probably one of the most star-studded races in the United States history. The Tour of California is going to be taking place February 14th. And this bike will be featured in the prologue, the first stage. Hopefully we'll get a win. So why don't I take you through the Xenith T2 time trial bike. We've spared no expense on this bike. This bike is a work of art. We have the Zip VUCA full carbon fiber time trial bars on the front with the SRAM carbon 900 time trial shifters. One of the major innovations on this bike is the shrouded brake inside the front fork. You can see the brake is fully shrouded inside the front fork. We've tested this at the San Diego wind tunnel, and it's made a significant increase in aerodynamics. Just putting this brake inside the front fork, which is something nobody else is doing. Another important part of this bike is we've done everything we can to make this bottom bracket as strong and as stiff as possible. This is where the rider stresses the bike the most, so it absolutely has to be strong and stiff. And as you can see, that's a very solid bottom bracket area. You're not going to get a lot of side-to-side movement on this bike. So not only have we shrouded the front brake inside the front fork, we've also taken care to make sure the back brake, as you can see, is also shrouded underneath the chainstay. So this is also saving or increasing aerodynamics and decreasing wind resistance, not sacrificing any kind of braking capabilities. The other important thing is if you look at the tubing on this bike, it's completely aerodynamic. NACA down tubing on this. If you look at the other shapes of the tubes, they're all designed to cut the wind as much as possible, also giving us an S-bend on the seat stays to absorb a little bit of shock and keep the rider comfortable and give him a smooth ride. Okay, let's move on to the seat post. As you can see, this is a very aerodynamic seat post. The wind is going to flow around this. It's also an adjustable seat post. Some other companies don't have this feature. This is adjustable on both sides to make sure that it's not going to slip and you're getting it as tight as possible. You can also adjust the seat, which also has titanium rails to make a really smooth ride and a light ride. You can move this back to get yourself into the perfect position. You can play around and make sure that you're in the most aerodynamic position and comfortable position for you. Okay, as you can see here, we have screws, set screws that you can use to adjust the placement of your wheel.
Okay, some things I like about this bike. First off, this seat post. Of course, you got great double binder bolts so you can adjust the torque evenly, but the multi-position head. What this means is that for a triathlete, you can get into that consensus position, forward, nose perhaps in front of the bottom bracket. You can get comfortable. At the same time, the UCI's got that silly rule, or very important rule to some, where your nose of the saddle's got to be 5 centimeters behind the bottom bracket. That's what the second position is for, if not just for comfort. But put it back there, you can adjust your saddle, get it behind the bottom bracket, and be UCI legal. Anybody who's training triathlon of any distance, you know, Olympic and up, even the sprint, you're going to be spending time on the bike. Something else I like about it, water bottle bosses where they're supposed to be on a bike, down here. You may not race with water bottles here, but you're sure going to train. So you can put 2 there, and if you got your rocket launcher back there, that's 4 bottles, lots of hydration to get you through your long ride. What you expect from a top-of-the-line bike is that it's kitted out. You can look at some other companies, they're going to take shortcuts. You know, every company is looking at affordability and how to spec their bike best so they can get it out on the market. Jamis T2, just to the max. Look at this. FSA Neo Pro, SRAM Red derailleur, front derailleur, power dome. This bike is just kitted out. It's the 900 TT shifters. But the other thing I like about the Jamis line of time trial and triathlon bikes is that stuff is trickling down to the next model. T1, same fork. Trilogy, same fork. T1, same brake placement, same frame. Trilogy, same brake placement, internal cable routing. Great value for your buck. Thanks for bringing the T2 by. It's an amazing bike.
It was my pleasure.
And so when are we going to see this in action?
Well, look for it February 14th for the Tour California. You'll get to see this the first day during the prologue and get to see it in action.
Excellent. So watch for the Jamis bikes on the Team Colavita Sutter home team at the Tour California, and check back at Hellovelo.ca for more reviews.